When I was driving here, I was talking to the camera, and I'm like, I thought about getting another gold wing. I think this is going to be easier to work on. Seems like there's going to be less plastic to take off and easier to get to shit. Fucking liar. Okay, let's get at least one of these bikes out of here. The old Odin gloves on. Yeah. God damn, this bike's heavy. Turn the key on, dumbass. First things first. Got the new TPMS. So this is the new to me bike. Kind of bought myself as a birthday present last month. It is a 2012 Kawasaki VN1700 Voyager. I needed a new bike to replace the Goldwing that I had my crash on because it's fucking totaled. You know, I still have my 900, which I love. Woo, there's that shimmy. Still got my 900, and I absolutely love it. But part of the reason I bought that Goldwing was so I could take my wife with me on some motorcycle rides instead of just ditching her all the time anytime I want to go do something. So I was looking around at used bikes and I was thinking of another Goldwing. But I've always kind of dug the way these Kawasaki touring bikes look. I think they're kind of cool. I know a lot of people disagree, but I didn't buy it for a lot of other people. I bought it for me. I got it for a really good price, and it only had, as you can see, just barely over 20,000 miles on it when I bought it. Runs strong. Everything is fairly, mechanically sound. But one of the things I noticed is that especially on deceleration, gets a bit of a death wobble. If anybody is watching, doesn't know what a death wobble is, it's when you're riding and the bars start doing this and everything feels real fucking shitty. Feels like you're gonna crash. It's got cruise control and everything on it, and anybody who's ever ridden long distances knows, when you put the cruise control on and you can kind of shake it out a bit, it's nice, but you take your hands off the bars. Well, on this particular bike, when you take your hands off the bars, things get real scary real fast. It's something I didn't know about these bikes before I got it. It's not unique to this motorcycle. When I say this motorcycle, I mean this particular motorcycle that I am sitting on right now. It is apparently a problem that these Voyagers and Vaqueros from Kawasaki have. So, as I was saying, it gets a pretty gnarly shimmy, especially on decel. And when you read on all the forums, it's a problem that's common to these. So, the first fix, they said, was to replace the steering stem bearings. There's just some chintzy bearings in here. So I bought some tapered roller bearings from All Balls. That was the number one suggestion. Number two is the tires. These fucking tires are aging out. So I got some fresh rubber. It's already at the farm. I gotta get it, pull the wheels off, take them in, have them mounted. And number three, I bought a fork brace which is not an easy thing to find for this bike. But there happens to be a gentleman named Gary on one of the forums, lives up in Canada. So this guy Gary, he must be a machinist or something. He's been making these fork braces for these bikes and selling them. And I feel fortunate to have got one, because he said he's in his 70s, he's retiring, he's not going to do it anymore. He had 2 left, so I took one. Gonna add that. The front end feels a little mushy on this thing anyways, especially in tight corners. So I need to add that fork brace. And where was I? That's 3 things. Oh, the 4th thing, I'm gonna go ahead and rebuild the forks and change out the oil. 20,000 miles. The guy I bought this from, he had a lot of service records and everything for the bike. I think he was the 2nd owner, and I didn't see anything about the fork oil or anything, so I'm guessing it's the original fork oil, and it's probably going to be really gross. So I'm going to do that. I thought about putting some Race Tech gold valve emulators in the forks and new springs and such, but I ain't rich. I can only spend so much at once, and you know, unfortunately, new tires for this bike were about 500 bucks, and all in on the improvements for the forks probably would have been another 500 bucks, and I just don't feel like spending that much right now. So I'm going to take care of these things. Hopefully that solves a lot of my issues, because other than that, I mean, other than this, you know, death wobble, which, don't get me wrong, there's a reason they call it death wobble. It's scary as hell when it happens. Other than that, I fucking love this bike. I already put the lower windshield on it. I had a big tall windshield. I hate looking through a windshield, so I should have gotten the left-hand turn. I should be taking a left here. I'm just gonna do it. The perks of being on a motorcycle. Thank you, sir. You know, it's a 1700cc. It's really torquey. The guy already had the ECU flash to get rid of some of the common problems that these bikes have. There's the auto zone I'm about to miss. Riding like an idiot today. These bikes are pretty neutered from the factory with the ECU. So there's a dude named Ivan out in New York, and he's apparently the Kawasaki computer guru, and it's one of the most common modifications to these bikes is to get it Ivanized, meaning you know, you send him in the ECU, you tell him what you got for intake, exhaust, and whatnot, and he reprograms it. So anyhow, I'm gonna run in here again and see if they've got my socket. Another thing I did was change out my grips here. Had some like Kuriokin grips on it or something, and they were kind of chrome with black. I mean, I think it was rubber. It felt like fucking plastic, and there was just like no grip. It just felt slick in my hands, and I hated it. And plus, all that kind of goofy looking shit on the handle grips is not my jam anyway. I prefer just black. And I've got these Avons, same ones on my 900. So I just went with them on this one too, because I really like them on the 900. One thing I'm trying to get used to is this throttle is kind of twitchy at low speeds. It's gets a little herky-jerky, and I'm sure it's probably just me getting used to it. I hope that's all it is, at least. I found because of that I kind of I don't know, I short shift a little when I'm going slow around town like this. It seems to help a little. Get it up into second gear. Man, that road's chewed up. So I haven't filmed a ride in a long time. Figured getting back on the horse, so to speak, as far as the motorcycling goes, I'll do the same with recording and trying to put out some YouTube videos. Tried to do a little comeback, not that, you know, it wasn't that long ago, but I bet it's been over a year after I got out of the hospital. Thank you. And I've just been dealing with a lot of health issues as far as, you know, my body being so banged up from that wreck, things I'm just never going to recover from. I'll have to leave that open for a minute. Glass is getting fogged up. Sweaty face. I'm taking it out to the farm, gonna do all this work on it. We got the lift set back up in the new shop, and this is just a lot to do in my garage that I've got other things going on in there. I just don't want to clog it up. So to the farm I go. The problem is, pre-accident, I'd probably knock these various things I want to do out in a couple days. I have a feeling it's going to be more like a week or more at the rate I move anymore. My back's just so screwed up. I can only work so long before I'm just hating life. Let's go, bro. You're doing 5 under. Come on. Woo-hoo-hoo. Oh, there. Now it's telling me I need gas. I better stop doing that. There we go. I don't know what it's like wherever you live, but these pumps in Oregon are annoying. You gotta hold these fucking spring-loaded doodads up, and it's a pain in the ass for motorcycles. I don't even know how much fuel this thing takes. A lot, apparently. Good enough for now. Jesus Christ. Get out of the way. Thank you. Please come again. I just might. Oh, Jesus Christ. Getting old sucks. That's what I'm talking about. Let's do this. Alright. Oh, I got one more, don't I? I always forget. I get 6 speeds on this bad boy. The 900's only got 5. Although I'm constantly looking for a 6 when I ride it. This one I'm gonna have to remember to put it up to 6. Alrighty. We have arrived. Alright, before I get started, I gotta let the boys out. I hear them barking in here because Eric's not here. And they're going ballistic. So, close the gate and let them in. Come on! should shut his door. Hey, come on, you wanna be on camera? Look. You fucking knothead. Both of you. Come on. Dogs, couple of fucking shop dogs.
The next day.
What's the matter? Hi. Hi, Dixon. Hey, walk. Good boys.
This is about the time I started having SD card issues. A lot of the initial disassembly of the bike didn't get recorded, unfortunately.
Okay, back at it. Gotta get this front wheel off. So I'm thinking if I let down on this rear jack, it should lift that up a little in the front. Maybe. Just maybe. All right. Did get my new socket. Just gotta grab it. Take a picture of these spacers real quick. Make sure I'm not fucking anything up. Dixon.
This here looks like a man who was disinterested in his job today.
Very much so.
Eric says hello.
I said, I gotta go do important motorcycle things, and I just walked out.
Perfect.
Okay. If only I had that 2 days ago.
Yeah, I didn't realize you were tearing the fucking whole head off this.
I mean, I just figured I gotta do the fork brace thing. I gotta do the bearings. I'm just like, might as well just rip this thing apart. Yeah. Now it's just fingers crossed that I know how to put it back together.
Yeah.
I think I have a pretty good idea, although when I pulled that fairing, I heard clink clink and looked down and there was like some little bushings that fell out of somewhere. And
Oh, well, we'll just start fucking slipping her back together and see what gives.
so let's see. I need to lift this up a little. You said you had like a low profile jack or something in here, huh?
Yeah.
Where at? Not with these jacks. Chris was like, man, oh, that one.
Did you guys move Harley so you went on bikes or something?
No, so his daughter could ride her scooter around in here, so
Why the fuck my bike's
nah, I moved the shit. But
The appraiser guy was in here. He walks out. That's nice. And I looked. I was like, well, my motorcycle wasn't sitting there yesterday.
oh, we took it for a ride, you know.
It didn't start for me, so I didn't go into the effort to start it.
No, I just
Come
was
on,
like,
Vixen.
you know what? I'm just gonna push this fucking thing out of your way. She's like, can I ride around in here? I'm like, yeah, I don't care.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I wish it was cleaner so they couldn't.
Oh, that was
Yeah,
Chris is like, you know, the least he could have done was clean this fucking shop up for us. And then he looks in the fridge and he's like,
what's the point of me enjoying your
Yeah.
shop if there's no beer?
he goes,
out
well,
here?
there's no beer in the beer fridge. I'm like, I know, I noticed that.
It's in the house.
And he goes, I'm like, you know, just chalk it up to things that Eric's failing at, you know.
Yeah, I mean, Eric's failing at plenty of things. We'll move it out of here. Okay, keep my fingers in here. Oh. Oh, yeah. Come around the other
Get
side.
out of there, bitch!
Come around this side.
Fucking whack you, God!
Come on. Apparently, I'm not fingering the hole well enough. Oh, baby. We're
That
almost
felt like almost like great success.
there. It is. Keep going.
Yeah! Fuck you, race!
Does that make you racist?
I'm racist now.
Is that whole thing fucking race? This is all part of it.
Is it?
Yeah, I thought it was up against shoulder. This is no wonder it's not coming. This part.
No, is it? That part spun.
Where's
didn't
your
it?
new race? We should look
In
at
the
what we're
freezer.
replacing this with.
Let's see, how bad was it?
Other side. Not beautiful.
You know, technically they say once you do that, get a new steering stem, but I don't care what they say. Who are they?
I'll weld her up.
Who are they to tell us?
Probably them Japanese manufacturers.
I feel like I'm just better and cooler than those guys.
I'm thinking I'll just stick this whole thing in the freezer,
Might as well.
and then tomorrow I should be able to slide those on there a little easier. Hopefully. At least if science proves me right. It's science. Blinded me with science. All right, don't eat that. A lot more got accomplished today than my previous couple days out here, even though there's 1,000 parts here.
Well,
I was like, man, I know I'm getting shit done because there's parts fucking everywhere, but
right. Got this shop all sorts of fruit there. It's okay.
oh,
My buddy Scott gave me
that blanket came in handy. Yeah, Chris and I were wondering what's up with the sink.
set up the hook to a garden hose, got a 110 volt water heater on it. You just fucking plug her in and have hot water.
What the? I mean, you're gonna be spoiled out here. We could piss in that. If you put an incinerator on the bottom, we can poo in it. All of that.
The cool part is it just drains out on the ground.
Yeah, yeah. But once it's all ground up, then it's fertilizer, not human waste.
346 minutes later.
All right, didn't film it, but got the new bearing races installed into the neck. I had those in the freezer overnight to try to get them to shrink a little bit so it wasn't such a tight fit. I used the old ones to put in here and beat those down so they seated all the way in there.
Tap, not beat.
Beat with a fucking sledgehammer, beat them shits in there. So now we are trying to rig something up into this press so that we can get the bottom bearing
We might try.
onto here, or we'll just see if we can't just fuck it all up with a beating on it with a pin. Either way, it's an adventure. This just seems like a very questionable maneuver here.
As questionable as removing it was.
Yeah, well, yeah. We don't want to talk about how we removed it because that was fucked up.
I don't have.
You didn't have a piece of pipe that would fit that, huh?
No, I don't have a lot around.
All right, we're gonna get real hillbilly with it because we didn't find a piece of round pipe that fit. So we're gonna cut a couple pieces of this angle, wrap them around that stem, and use them for the press, to press the bearings in. Theoretically. Just to give a full walk around. What the hell? Give a full walk around here of just how much I've taken this goddamn bike apart.
One of the keys to motorcycle mechanics,
to own a saw that costs as much as the motorcycle you're working on.
Yeah. Well, I don't need to own it. I need to know somebody who owns that. Don't cut my camera. Your shop is almost perfect, but you were out of beer the other day when I was here.
I was not out
And it
of
was
beer.
you could clean this shit up a little before I get here next time. I mean, come on.
Yeah, okay, Dad.
This is custom.
Fucking A, dude. See, I even respect your motorcycle a little bit.
Not me. Will it work? You got a nice clean edge against there so we don't mar it up?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep, those are the fresh cut edges. Guy had a flat screwdriver just laying around the shop. See, this is why you don't fucking clean up.
Yeah. Well, if you put shit away, how are you ever supposed to find it again? This might be the best goddamn idea I had all day right there.
Yeah, no shit.
Right.
There's levels of fucking engineering going on here. Tune in next week for when we build a dam.
It's time for some pressure.
You need to
Pressure!
pushing down on me, pushing down on you.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
This almost looks like we know what we're doing. Almost.
how dare you? It was only a matter of time before you caught me jacking off on one of your videos.
Look at that.
You're the smartest circus bear in the room.
Exactly. Smarter than your average circus bear. Groovy?
Oh yeah, just put a little extra pressure to seat her. One down, one to go.
Where did I put
That
it?
was
Was like kind of easy.
Almost. That's a great idea for anybody who's actually digging around in the shop. Table.
Hmm.
I'm really impressed with that. And we're gonna seat all of this with the
Yeah, we'll
stem,
torque.
so even
yeah.
if that's not fully down,
Yeah.
at the end you're gonna
That's the idea.
bring her all the way down. Gotcha.
Because I think the pressure of this helps seat the top one, right? Because obviously when
Right.
it's not something that gets pressed in.
That's one that honestly, once we put it in there, we can probably tap it on with a socket.
We might. Well, bring it over here. Let's see. I definitely don't think that that hurt anything throwing that in the freezer for the night. Okay, so that goes up through.
Actually, about the only thing it did is create condensation. Why don't you, in your gloved hands, take and smear a light little bit of fucking grease on this thing, just like a film. Because again, the condensation, this thing's gonna fucking rust. I just wiped a shitload of water off of it. I'd rather have it greasy in the fucking tube than rusty.
Let's get it all greasy up in here.
Yeah,
Let's get
or-
this on camera so
Pretend you're in junior high.
everybody knows how to do this. Alright. Fucking make sure you get this nice lubed up. Get it ready for a fun Saturday night.
Or Thursday. I don't know what the fuck I did with that tripod of yours.
Oh.
You want to put the steering stops the opposite direction just for fun?
Probably not.
Oh, fucking coward. Here, let me have that camera on.
What's that?
You want me to hold the camera here while you get the seal and the,
Got the seal here. Let's see. So it like this, right?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
It is now.
Yeah, looks right.
Okay, let's see. Get out of here.
We got some masterful camera work going on here. Never mind my shakes. I'd say ladies and gentlemen, but I bet there's no women watching this.
You know what?
Welcome.
This has to go on first.
We want to use that to torque this whole shit show down with that custom fucking socket.
Yeah, we got it.
All right, because we're basically going to over tighten it.
Yeah. So there's that.
Wow. We'll go back to the, always getting the torque wrench. We'll walk over here and get the custom socket.
Is that a half or a 3/8 on that socket?
That's a half. Eagle Creek's finest fabrication, custom spanner.
So
Bad boy is brand name.
240.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm actually
40 foot-pounds.
pretty fucking tickled with how that worked if it doesn't break. So they recommend taking it to 40 that's an over tight.
Yeah, something like that. And that, again, that's for the stock OEM bearings, and like I couldn't find a definitive answer for these, so good's gonna be good.
But you take it over tight and then you back. Did that break one of the tangs? Yeah, well,
So much for that.
Eagle Creek's finest. I mean, made it
Damn
with a
it.
fucking die grinder in 30 minutes. What do you
I
want?
mean, bro, I thought that was gonna be. I thought that was
Stronger
it. I
than a
thought that
piece
was
of
the
metal
ticket.
that's been like fucking molested. Worst case, we get a fucking hammer and a chisel. Please hold. Please hold. Yeah.
That was a fine idea, though.
Yeah, well,
The idea, the thought behind it was great.
yeah, but the,
The execution, not so much.
do you grab a hammer and chisel and just give it a couple tappy taps just to make sure it's a little tighter? Are you worried? What's the danger of over tight? We know under tight's definitely
Well, I mean,
a bad. It ain't gonna spin off. It.
So they have you back it down to like 22 foot-pounds, which isn't very much.
No.
It sure as shit feels seated
I
in there.
mean, yeah, and it feels. I'd rather have my steering like snug, and it's gonna wear in a bit, right? All that grease has got.
I would imagine. Plus, there's nothing on here right now.
Right, you have no
right?
weight, you have no
So
ground
once
friction.
we put everything back, then we just kind of drop test it, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah. See how hard it falls over to the side, and if it, I mean, you don't want it to go too hard to the side, right? Isn't that kind of the. Back to the rear camera stand. Oh, look at that. And it can't come out. That's the other one. It's like,
I'm not real worried about it, and we can fuck around with it.
in all honesty, if it was a problem,
Like
the
later,
top
right?
part of the tree is not, well, fuck, if you're fared up, the top part of the tree is kind of a bitch.
I think for now the bearings are in there.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh man, I can't believe you did that to my socket.
I can't believe you didn't build.
Look at the world. I'd like the world to see what Abel Cross does to custom-made tools.
Yeah.
Made for him by his best friend. I fucking put my sweat and blood into this, and this is what we
I
get.
didn't see you bleed once, you lying son of a bitch.
This is basically drop test time, just fork weight. Is that what you're figuring?
Well, when the tire and everything is back, which I still am in shock that the guy was like,
I mean, that
4-day fucking lead time to change the tire. I'm like,
That's,
how many fucking tires do you have that's gonna take 4 fucking days
I mean,
to
just
get
with
to
that
mine?
offset weight, that's not
Yeah,
terrible.
yeah. I mean, we don't want it too loose, but we'll fuck around with it when the time comes.
Yeah, that's nice.
Alright.
I think.
There is an Allen right up in here that I think they say try to loosen that. We gotta walk. God damn, this camera is hotter than a $2 pistol right now. I don't know
Because it's filming some subjects that are just on fire.
So you get a long, we get a long hex, put it in there, and that way we can break that loose while the spring pressure is still holding that damper rod.
Oh, yeah,
Right.
so we got to break those loose first, then
Yeah.
we go through the process.
So you just crack it loose. I mean, honestly, if you took an impact to it on the bench, it'd probably come right out.
And getting the bearing puller started to compress the spring is going to be way harder than what you've just done here. Because you're going to be fucking holding 5 pieces. Yeah.
Ye of
Mark
little
my
faith.
words.
Ye.
I've been around us when mechanical shit goes on.
But what I'll probably do is just lose critical components of this job.
Well, yeah. Just like that.
My whole thing with this is like, it's not like it's hard work. It's just a lot of little fucking things everywhere.
Yeah.
Gonna reuse the seals or anything, but
You don't want to lose any of the parts.
have everything where it goes.
All right. Well, that's success.
8 hours later.
Okay. Fork on the table, and it's time for disassembly. Now, what I did was I took a regular Allen wrench and I cut it down to fit into this 6mm socket so that I have something to reach in here and break that dampener rod loose. Pulled one of the forks off the bike, pulled the what am I trying to say? Pulled the spring out. Got everything kind of laid out on towels. The thought being, when I disassemble this, what I'll do is keep all the parts in the order kind of laid out on here that they come out. So right now I'm just draining the fork oil. So you can see it's, well, I don't know if you can see it or not. It's really black. I somehow doubt that it's ever been changed.
3 hours later.
All right, so I finally picked up my tires. I'm back in the shop now. I didn't roll the Camry rebuild in the front one. I'm just gonna go through the whole process here with my second one. We'll go from there. So first step would be to pull that spring out. Let it sit there for a minute, and we'll go ahead and dump this dirty oil out of this one. Cycle it a few times, try to get some of that out of there. Move the forbidden coffee over there. My back is killing me. I'm going to sit down and do some of this work. First things first, I'll pull this little bracket off of here, this little stop. I don't know what the hell this thing is. Get the little bolt out of the rod in the bottom. Remove this plastic piece and the dust seal.
dust seal off, and I'll go ahead and pull that retaining ring out of there. Get that ring off. Oops. Send my fucking shit flying, get grease all over the fucking floor. Ay, caramba. Let's clean this mess up. Get off of there. Come on. Get that bushing off. Should grab some more shop towels while I was at the store. Shit. Okay, let's do some reassembly. Damn, the washer's stuck on here. Come on. Okay. Get rid of that old one. Clean these threads off. New bushing. The short spring. Onto this rod, and the whole works. Drops in here, pokes out the bottom like such. This little guy goes with the threaded part down. Oop. You know what? I'll just stick it on the end of here. You stick that on there, shove it in here. That's all lined up at the bottom. We'll grab a new crush washer onto this guy. Hit it with a little bit of blue Loctite. Get it started. That's holding everything. Set that down like such. Grab the other bushing. Put a little oil on it. Put it on. Grab our washer. Put it on. Then I was just taking a screwdriver and just pushing down a little bit until that bushing pops into place. Now that that's off, so the washer, grab our new seal. These all ball seals kind of look the same on both ends. If you look really close, one of the sides has lettering on it. And from everything I found on the internet, all that writing faces up. So carefully put your seal on here. Slide it down. So now comes the clever trick that I learned from YouTube University, and that is to make a slide hammer to seat these seals using some electrical tape. You know, this isn't something that I'm going to be doing very often, so I didn't really want to buy a whole bunch of specialty tools for it. You know, a cheap drive seal for this size was $40 or something on Amazon. And I'm like, man, I'm gonna spend $40, use that motherfucker like once, twice maybe, and that's that. So I was looking up other ways to do it. A lot of guys use like PVC pipe, all kinds of stuff. And I found this neat little trick. Take some electrical tape. Come on, you can get it started. And make yourself a straight line on here, as straight as you can. And the idea is that you're building up a thickness of this tape just big enough to push that seal down into the fork tube without hitting the outside edge of the fork tube and stopping what you're doing. So $40 for a tool or $2 for a roll of tape. My cheap ass would rather use the $2 tape method. So you just try to keep this nice and straight as you can. And you build up just enough to hit that seal. Just a little more. That'll be about right. The seal is in there, and now it's seated. That drove it down in. Now I can get the new retaining ring on.
And if it clicks down into the groove, you know you got your seal in there far enough. So, just like that, I got my seal in. So, pull off the tape. And there we have it. Take a little fresh oil my dust seal up so it can slide fairly easy. And carefully put it on. You just gotta work it down into the groove with your fingers. Boom. All right. Number 2, rebuilt. Now I just gotta get the right amount of oil in them. I need the spring tension in here to be able to torque this bolt to the proper amount. Until I got it back on the bike, I want to get it kind of close. I'll put it upside down like this. And just hold some pressure down on that spring and turn that thing kind of by hand. Now it's in there, it just needs torqued. I'll torque it when it's back on the bike. So just compress this thing down. It is sitting all the way down there. And pour in your new oil without the spring in. Cycle this a couple of times. So everything I read and have seen in the book says to let this sit for like 5 minutes. So while it's sitting, I'll go ahead and get the oil ready for the next side. It's probably really hard to see on the camera, but there's a bunch of measurements on the tube, and you set this stop at the measurement you're supposed to be at the bottom of the stop. The book says 182 plus or minus like 2. And the thought being, you poured all your oil in there, you worked it a couple times, you let it sit, let some of the bubbles come out, then you drop this thing in here, and hopefully the oil's just above this a little bit, and you draw out until it won't draw out anymore, and then you're at the correct level on your oil. So that should be the proper level. With the proper oil in that one, I should be able to put it onto the bike and put the spring and the cap back on. I'm just gonna go over and do it. Okay, I am installing this fork brace I bought along with these boots, and I had to cut the little ridge off the bottom of the boots, and you basically have to pinch. Crap. See, I let this thing drop down so I could cut those. Oh, well, that's fun. I gotta take this out anyway because I shoved it in there backwards. Dumbass.
Okay. Take this and turn it around. I want to let those ride over into this groove. And the fork brace has a slight recess to it, so just gotta let those go on there. Oh shit. Ooh, I'm fading. Should be able to, hopefully. Tap that up in there a little ways.
Much later.
Still got to plug my charger back in, but I can't remember which one of these was hot, so I'll have to get a tester, test all that out before I put the front back on. I think what I'm going to do is leave this like this for now until I have another hand and move back to the back of the bike. Got to remember how all this bullshit went together now. I'm going to raise up my little jack, give myself room to install. Let's try that for now. Get these off here. Pull the axle back off. Get my spacers and nuts over here. Now, to remember how this whole fucking thing went back together. These all go into the wheel. This goddamn SD card in this thing's giving me fits. Keeps shutting down my recording, giving me weird errors.
3,000 years later.
All right, back at it in the shop again. I'm just about finished doing what I need to do on my new Voyager. Couple of things. I am gonna make this tour pack removable. I just don't want to do it right now. I'm kind of tired of working on the bike right at the moment. I just want to get it back into rideable form. So that'll probably be more like a winter project. The way people go about doing this is they cut this plastic trim right here across the top, and underneath this piece of trim there are 2 bolts on each side that hold the framework of the tour pack to the frame of the bike. You cut some slots into the holes. You can make it removable. I probably will do that to begin with. However, I do want to try to fabricate something that's a little cooler than that and a little more quick detach. So I don't know exactly what it's going to look like. I just don't want to mess with it right now. The work I did do is new tires, and I removed the old chrome covers for the top of these forks so that I could put a fork brace on. I added these rubber boots. I don't know if it was necessary or not, but I think it looks kind of cool, so I just went ahead and did it. I got to make some adjustments, get everything back the way I need it to be comfortable, put the little cover back over the battery. I'm going to replace the air filter. It was super dirty. and I'll just put the antenna back on the back of the bike for now. Eventually it will get relocated probably down here. I'll drill and mount something here with a short stubby antenna, cover the hole that will be left here to make this whole thing removable without fucking around too much. The other thing I need to do, my stupid ass forgot to tighten this guy back up before I put the handlebars and everything back on. So I have to pull the handlebars back off of there again, re-tighten that bolt. I need to pick the bike up, get the front up and freestanding with nothing in the way, kind of do a drop test on the handlebars and make sure I kind of have the steering stem bearings, the little, I don't know, it's like a castle nut. There's like a weird notched nut that is at the top of that steering stem underneath the top triple clamp. I think I have it torqued about where I need it, but I won't really be able to tell until I do a drop test on the front tire. So the idea is jack that up, let it swing kind of its own weight, see if it feels right or if it just slams down, bounces back, whatever. I haven't done it before, so I'll just be kind of shooting from the hip, but it shouldn't be that hard. I mean, nothing's really that hard, I guess. It's fucking working on a motorcycle. If you can turn a wrench and you can kind of figure out, you know, how things work, it's really not that hard to work on a motorcycle. Other than that, I got to put everything back together in here. There's a tray that sits down in here, makes everything a little prettier. I think, fingers crossed, I think that's about all I need to do to get it back into rideable shape. Everything under here got plugged back in, wires rerouted, everything's groovy. The bike is filthy now. It's got smudgy ass fingerprints all over everything. I am gonna have to clean it, but I'll do that when I feel like it, and that ain't right now. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the new air filter in. I went ahead and just got myself a K&N air filter, because why not just put the best part in if you're gonna replace something? So that's what I'm up to now. I tell you, working on this bike has been kind of fun. I've been so banged up and hurting for so long that I've kind of been really inactive. Been having a lot of back problems, a lot of problems associated with the wreck I was in. But it's been kind of nice. I've been going to physical therapy, trying to get some of my issues worked out, even though this has taken me quite a while to work on this thing. It's been good for the soul, I guess, would be the best way to put it. Set that anywhere. I have been pretty down about the way I've been feeling, and if nothing else, even though I'm a little sore from doing this shit, I feel better mentally. I'm in a better headspace. It gets to where I end up sitting around just being in pain, feeling sorry for myself, and it's just not good for your mental well-being. So I'm trying to get things worked out, get myself back in shape, and get ready to put some miles on this bike this summer. One thing I'm going to do to challenge myself is I'm heading to Montana for Rocky Mountain Roll. And if any of you follow Amanda Zitto, As the Magpie Flies is her channel, she holds an event every year in Montana on her family's property, kind of a redneck camp out. And me and some of the homies are going to go ahead and ride over there and do the camping thing. So that's going to be a big challenge for me. Now, riding the bike isn't that bad, but all the camping and other shit that's associated with trips like that make things a little difficult. I don't think I'm going to struggle with the ride too much. I'm going to struggle with, sleeping in a
a tent low to the ground and, you know, not in ideal conditions. Man, I can't see shit. Oh, dropping things everywhere. Got butterfingers today. Anyway, like I was saying, that part of this whole ordeal is what I'm probably most apprehensive about. But I'm going with good friends, and I know that if I'm really, really struggling, I can lean on them to help me out as much as possible. You know, setting up camp, tearing down camp, things like that. I'm really looking forward to it. I haven't been. 4 years ago, I had a ticket to go. And about a month before it was time to set off on the road is when I was in my accident. And I know that the friends that did go with me, it was lingering with them a little, you know, that I was in the hospital from a motorcycle accident, and here they're about to set off on, you know, thousands of miles of riding. So I feel a little bit bad about that, but not that bad. They weren't the ones laying in the hospital, I was. It's more of a mental game at this point. I am in a lot of physical pain, but you can push through a lot of physical pain. It's when you start, you know, doubting yourself in your mind and getting depressed. You know, I suffer from a lot of depression issues already, you know, even before I ever hurt myself. That definitely did not help. So I really need to just power through and do whatever I can to keep myself in a good headspace. I think buying this motorcycle honestly has been really beneficial for that. It's fun to be out here wrenching. You know, I guess that's enough to say about that. I have been kind of cracking up. The motorcycle I crashed was a 1988 Honda Goldwing that I really loved. I had it running tip-top. The only thing wrong with it was its tires, which was what caused the accident. I wanted to get another big touring bike so that I could haul my wife around with me on some trips. She was really starting to enjoy riding on that Goldwing with me. And I bought this bike just because I think it looks cooler than an older Goldwing. Maybe not the newer Goldwings, those are dope. But I thought, let's get something with a V-twin, a little cooler looking. It's probably going to be easier to work on. You know, when you work on a Goldwing, you got to pull off so much plastic and shit to get to anything on the bike. It becomes a little bit of a chore. I was wrong. This bike's got just as much crap to take off of it as a Goldwing. So that, I was definitely wrong in that assumption. But other than that, I really do love this bike. I'm hoping that what I've done now will fix the issues that I did have with it, which mostly was the tires were shit, and there was a pretty severe death wobble on deceleration when you're going about 30, 40 miles an hour. Also kind of cruising down the highway, setting the cruise control, taking your hands off, trying to, you know, shake it out a bit. As soon as you let go of the handlebars, things just started wobbling and feeling really, really sketchy. I looked through a lot of the forums online. There's, you know, those are a great source. If you buy a bike and you want to learn as much as you can about that bike, I suggest getting on the forums online and looking at, reading, talking to others who have had these motorcycles. Turns out that death wobble is something inherently wrong with the Kawasaki Vaqueros and Voyagers. They're 1700 models. Again, it wasn't like completely unsafe to ride or anything like that, but it definitely wasn't dialed in where I feel it should have been. So that's the steering stem replacement, and not steering stem, the steering stem bearing replacement, and the fork brace. I really think that's gonna take care of a lot of that. I also rebuilt the forks, changed out the seals, and went from the 8-weight OEM oil on the forks to a 15-weight. And I did that because I do like to, even though it's a big tour, I like to ride a little bit aggressively, especially when you get into windy, you know, twisty roads. This has taken
a lot longer than what I wanted. I just kind of got tired of fucking around. I want to actually ride the bike, not just work on it all the time. No test ride today. Okay, everything's put back together. Seems like everything's in proper running order.
Again, it's fucking nasty outside, so I will not be test riding today. There is a little break in the weather, but it was fucking gnarly out. I put my quad lock wireless charger set up on here, wired it down to an auxiliary inside the fairing, and I think I got everything
How I want it. So, until next time, see ya.